Tammy, I have 7:05. Call the meeting to order. Did everybody have a chance to review the previous minutes? Is there any suggestions?
Not present, I will abstain.
Okay,
Make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And Lance abstains. Finances.
Well, I don't have too much. I'm not in very good voice here tonight, but quickly going through the itty bitty checks that you have in front of you. Yes, I did choose to write those checks because I just said, well, what else do I do? Do I come back to you guys, have a different minutes that say, don't bother with the BCA? So for future reference for all of us, if you end up doing retroactive pay, maybe just make the BCA the next time they come in, and then it's a non-issue. But somebody, I don't remember the names on it, but somebody signed off on this. Wasn't mine doing entirely.
This is for the election stuff.
Yeah,
Exactly. I'm sorry to make that clear, but
Yeah, it was us counting votes.
yeah, but it
at
was,
least I didn't mail them. I didn't
So-
put them in a 75-cent
Envelope for 61 cents.
61-cent check. So I,
No.
For what it's worth.
Abatement hearing.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
no. So it's for the BCA for vote counting in March. But what happened was there was the motion to raise the pay for the BCA, which didn't go into effect until after. And then once we put that in and it got voted, we retroactively paid all of the entities that got a raise, the BCA being one of them. But the raise came out to 61 cents. So
for some
this-
people, it worked an hour or
Yeah,
something on.
yeah,
on
it was
voting
more,
day. So
but
some
like-
people, it was all of $10 or something, but there were a few that were
Right,
here
but
for
it
an
was-
hour or two.
But it was all the retroactive pays throughout. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's just,
Yeah,
yes, it's kind of silly. I acknowledge that. And I maybe should have just not bothered.
that's,
But it seemed like not bothering opened up other discussions that
Yeah,
done deal,
that's-
and next year we'll
no worries.
do it
It's,
differently. I
it's,
didn't think.
at this point,
Yeah.
you know, water
Uh,
under the bridge.
Yeah,
Done-
quick
done.
cemetery question. Cemetery water bill accidentally got on the town common and was paid by the town.
Okay,
So $140, town got billed and the town has paid for it.
okay,
3 out of 4 of the faucets are in the cemetery,
okay.
which the cemetery knows and was going to just have me create a bill to them from the town to pay for 3/4 of that $140
And the
water
cemetery
bill.
commission is okay with this correction? Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
that's, I don't see any
I
problem
was
with
gonna ask
that.
you guys, but Linda was here and she said.
Anybody
yeah, that
else,
sounds
anybody
right.
have any issue with that?
How much interest we charging them?
Let's go with none since we screwed it up to begin with.
All right, I'll let it go.
And you've already actually paid their bills.
And we already paid.
It's all good.
Yeah, yeah. So there's that one.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, repair fund is on this warrant, the transfer of the money, so that from this point on, that first balance where all the bank balances are, that will be what you have left in the repair
The
fund. You
total.
won't have to derive the total from
Excellent.
different places. So we all kind of agreed on that.
Mhm.
For the continuing saga, I sent that certified bundle of the property tax payment there, if you remember from other times, where I don't think we've got a response back, but there's a tracking code that I can see if they received it, signed off on it. And I will call them and find out, and to be continued still, but they've got their certified bundle. I kept copies of everything for us, so wherever that ends up,
Excellent.
at least I can tell you what they were sent and.
Okay.
You know, and just a reminder, nothing really jumped out at me on the reports, except from last time, just remember that the lister's expense includes that big software bundle.
Yep.
Which is why it's 850% and jumps out at you on the page. And think, lastly, just my little side fact-finding mission where I stopped by Georgia to see what they were doing, if anything, for payments, electronic payments that would allow someone to pay their property taxes or anything else, which we kind of discussed. Georgia, where I'm from, of course, for some reason only is doing it at the moment for dog licenses, though I'm not sure why, but they're looking to expand upon that, maybe bring property taxes. But the treasurer in Georgia told me she had property in Fairfield and that Fairfield had website where they could just go to the Fairfield website
Mhm.
and pay their property taxes online. So I went to the Fairfield site, which you guys can do too, and sure enough, there's like a link there that says pay online, and you have a selection for property taxes on, and it's a municipay software that I wasn't familiar with, but I went to that website to see, well, what do they do? And it looks like they do exactly this, which is do software processing for municipalities and stuff. And it said on the site that it was free to the office, that they're just collecting the fees, like the processing fees, like credit card company is essentially what they are, which I was a little skeptical on or skeptical about, but I stopped in the Fairfield just for a few minutes and chatted with the town clerk there, and she said, no, it works pretty well, and that they don't get charged anything. Essentially, if you had an $8,000 property tax bill that someone wanted to pay online, and I haven't looked into it in any more details, nor am I recommending this, just telling you what I've found out so far. But they do all the handling of the fees, so they just take their fee, put it in their account, and just send you the amount that you wanted in the first place. And even looked like it wasn't just credit card processing. So if you had money in the bank and wanted to send an e-check or a
Yep.
fund
CH.
transfer, it's like $1.50 or some much smaller fee than your 3% credit card fee. So at least it was intriguing enough, given that really maybe there's a cost somewhere buried in there if you don't do enough transactions or volume or something. But I really think it's more kind of like inkjet printers where they would give you the printer and make the money off the ink. They're collecting all their money just from processing the fees. And so, I'm still gonna check. I haven't made it to Fairfax, a few other places, but that was interesting. And none of the other websites had that link the way Fairfield did.
Yeah, the place that we looked at before, I think Vera had steered us towards or was looking at, did the exact same thing.
Yes.
We didn't get charged the fee. The end user got charged the fee. The person who was paying their bill had the fee. We were insisting that somewhere in there, it states that. So when you go pay your taxes with your credit card, you understand you're going to take a fee against it. But that's how they make their money. They don't
Yeah,
charge the
exactly.
town.
So it may have been the same thing that you stumbled across. And on the Fairfield site, again, if you just go and look at it, it says all of that right there on the pay online. It says 2.68% will be charged in addition to a $3 minimum, but it spells out all
Yep.
the language, so you know exactly what you're getting into if you choose to do that. And then you just,
You have to ask how many people use it. Is it?
I didn't ask that. No, I didn't ask that. She seemed busy today and didn't seem like she really wanted to talk to me. Yeah. I mean, I think, again, she had stuff to do and was nice enough to answer my few questions, but that was the one, that's another good question of
I
how
think-
much it gets used. I know someone last time we were here had chimed in that Fairfax, people used it quite a bit in Fairfax.
And
Yeah.
Kathy gets asked,
The-
I know.
Yeah.
so-
Right. Now, no one has any machines, like no one has like a retailer where someone walk in for dog licenses. So everybody, I say, I've looked two places so
Yeah.
far, but they're just either doing it themselves or somebody else is doing it online. It's all cloud,
Yeah.
internet based and.
Yeah, the people we were using, we originally had asked for a machine here for people who were walking in because we had walk-ins. So
Right.
that's what we were chasing, a machine here. They were out of Texas, if I remember correctly. And I'm staring at Tammy because she was
Yeah.
a piece of this at one point.
Could it not be as easy as doing it online here in the office though?
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. And I think that's what other people seem to have done. And I know in the town, they don't have a machine where,
Yeah.
you might hand someone a laptop to enter it, or the woman in Fairfield said she prefers that they just do it on their phone, that she doesn't want to take the credit card if she doesn't have to.
Yep.
But if it's someone old and she doesn't think they're going to do it right.
And that was the
Then-
debate we had. If we didn't want the responsibility to accept the credit cards, I think that's what the company we were talking to out of Texas was talking about. But I think they were, because I think Vera originally had mentioned a machine. I think that the link on
I
it.
think you could bypass that and just do it all online. At least it becomes feasible and
No, I want to let them use our computers.
Or even.
They can use their phone to the perfect point. They have a phone.
well, we'll see. When
They're
you get
using
into-
our laptops to search.
The records that are on file. Yeah.
Really?
And that's what Georgia, I mean, Georgia's doing that, like the
Yeah.
town clerk or whoever's working in the office has to go online, though they're not really doing it in a very sophisticated way, so they're not really much beyond doing nothing at the moment, but they're kind of hands-on a little bit.
Depends on the laptop, I guess. We don't want them in the town treasurer laptop.
It's a laptop with a land record module on it. And that's what they pull up the land records instead of going into the vault.
Oh, I'm even just talking if we do this. Okay.
I think this is kind of a down the road conversation.
Exactly. I just wanted to give you like a general idea of a few things I'd found, and the Municipay was the intriguing one because it just seemed, there's even a free demo, I think, of that one.
And if other towns are using that, I mean,
That's
I'm a
it.
big one for not recreating the wheel.
I
You've got
agree with
3
that,
other
100%,
using
100%. So if Fairfax is using something else, we'll just kind of like it.
Yeah.
It did, but
Well, that's good. So,
But that was the idea of checking 3 or 4 different places and see, maybe they're all doing different stuff, but at least this one looked the most slick to begin with. And she said they hadn't had any problems with it, that it wasn't a piece of crap or anything, that's always encouraging.
so I would think that, that sounds great. Maybe if, even if it's an email to the town treasurer of Fairfield, ask them about how many transactions they have yearly.
Well, and
Just to get an idea, or monthly.
And
yep,
I'll
just
find
to
out
get-
if there's minimums from this company too,
Right.
where like I say, I don't know if you would do this if no one used the service, kind of like service charge on your bank account. If you don't do 10 checks or
Yeah, and-
whatever it might be, there might be some floor or something where they want to do, but this is just, again, first pass.
Yep,
I think for handing someone a dog license or handing someone an ATV license, that's easy enough because they show they pay, it shows it's in, we pay. I think for the taxes, I think what we ought to ask is a simple question while you're asking questions. How do they track? We don't know who paid. We just get $8,300.
Well, on the site, I didn't ask about this, but on the site, there's a user sign in on this payment site. So I'm thinking, to your point, maybe if you're paying property taxes, they make you have like an
have
email
to
account
register.
within the payment group that
Yeah.
identifies who you are. So yes, you don't end up paying Tom Jameson's
Because we
tax
need to
bill.
make sure that we can link it.
System.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
link X address to
Makes sense.
person, because God forbid someone says, oh, I typed the wrong address. It's not my fault. They're late.
No,
I paid my neighbor's taxes or an empty lot's taxes. It isn't there.
And I feel like they probably have something in
It's gotta be
there
something.
already that does that, because the other thing that had like advanced features, one of which was you could automatically have a notification sent when your bank paid your escrow tax payment. So they kind of at least look like they're targeted and know
Yeah.
what they're, I say know. what they're doing.
My point's the other side of the pendulum. How does the town know who paid what? We get in our account, the credit card company sends us $8,300 or credits our bank account $8,300. How do we tie that to Linda McCall's house?
Yes, and again, I'm assuming that's part of this login.
Maybe,
We'll
maybe
find
that's
out.
what
We'll
has to
find out
happen
those
on it.
details.
Something
think
has to
It
identify.
has to.
Again,
You're
that's
absolutely right.
That's a next step
Yeah.
question.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he's calling the towns,
Yeah,
ask the question.
Yeah.
If you're making those
No,
phone
you have
calls,
to, you have
ask.
to know. No,
Yep.
no question. That's
Okay.
a major thing. And I think, yeah, that was pretty much it.
that's it.
Yeah, I don't think I had
Any
anything really
questions from the
dramatic.
board?
No.
No.
Thank you for doing that research.
Yeah,
Oh, you're welcome. And again, just sort of a starting point anyway for surveying things. And Todd's gonna have to wait for his $1.96 until another
Oh,
time.
geez.
See that?
I'm sure he'll probably make it through.
How did he get?
You think he'll make it?
Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you, Tom.
No, you're welcome. You
Have
no
a good,
questions.
oh, no,
Thank you.
everybody seems good here. So,
And thank you,
I got paid.
shout out to Tammy and Kathy for filling in. I kind of
Oh.
left
While,
with
while
it's cold on Thursday when John was asking for some stuff, and I got you some, and they, I think, finished up some of it.
we did it today. One more thing, and it's kind of finance, I guess, is we voted on the raises for everybody but one person. Is that going in the executive or are we just going to do that now?
is that an executive?
It's going to have to be on the record either way. We just missed one person.
Okay.
That would be our town clerk.
No.
We didn't write it in. We wrote it as hourly and she is not hourly. We didn't phrase it to
And then
cover
she-
her.
Questioned me and I put it to the group and we said, yes, it was everybody.
Well, we said we would vote on it.
Yeah, but it's the
We
same
would make it
percentage.
official.
Yeah. it's-
So I'm just saying we should
Yeah.
probably make that official. And did you correct hers as well?
No, because I think she was waiting, at least this
'cause-
last time on, because she's,
So-
again, salary, I think she gets paid once
Yeah.
a month, so I don't know where it stands. That's it.
No,
And-
Tom did, because we specifically called his name out in there. All right.
Okay.
So no, I'm not looking for it. I mean, I appreciate it, but again, I don't want you thinking that I would be totally upset.
Can I make a motion? You know what we're doing here. Can I
Yeah.
make a motion?
Yes,
We
please.
will increase our salaried employees by the same percentage as our hourly employees.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Thank you. All
Good.
right.
All
Have a
right,
good
I'll
night,
let you get
Tom.
on with your evening.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Out of here without trouble.
Linda,
feel better.
you're up
Take
next.
care, Tom.
Oh, shiitake. You know what? You got the remote. Did you start recording?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. We just went through all that thing. Did we record that? You had the mouse.
Yeah.
Going home.
Liability insurance.
Hey, I'm here as Linda McCall, Chair of the Cemetery Commission. You know, we've done a lot of work on the first house. We've got that back where we can use it again for putting those urns in there during the winter months and clean up and all that. And it's got the historic tools in there that were used when Bakersfield was responsible for funerals and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And so we're also talking about tying in with the Historical Society, having open houses, bringing kids in, showing them that part of the town's history and all of that. And the stairway there is open, kind of like it is in the barn.
Okay.
There's no railing on the inside or the outside. We have minimal storage upstairs. We don't go up and down a lot. And when we have kids in there, we barricade that off. We have been approached by one person that feels that they should be able to store things up there, but not comfortable with them carrying stuff up and possibly stepping off and breaking their neck.
Mhm.
So, but I do need to know what the insurance would be for these situations, you know, having students in there. And, you know, if anybody
I think if you open that up to the public,
yeah,
it has to meet ADA compliancy,
okay,
which means it would need a railing. It would need,
railing on the steps onto the porch.
it would need a railing
Because-
there. And I believe if that upstairs is not used, it would have to be
Roped off.
roped off securely. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know all the ADA things right off the top of my head, but I would assume as a public access, you're probably even gonna have to add a ramp
We
off
got a
the
ramp
side.
to the back, but it's goes into the garage. but it's
Goes
a
into the
bit-
garage part.
Bit steep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you might even need like a ramp off the side of the porch for people to come up into it. Just, that would be my initial thought. If
Okay.
it does get opened up to the public like that, you know, it's just like, the historical building over here, you know, the
Mhm.
Historical Society building and the church.
Okay.
Even though you're only opening it up for certain things, it still has to be accessible to everybody. That's the downfall of opening up buildings, really.
It might be worth checking though with, Vermont League of Towns and Cities.
Yeah,
I was getting
cities,
that back.
yeah, I know.
Because if it's just for an educational purpose and it's not truly open to the public.
Right.
I don't know there may be some minimums there where you wouldn't have to.
And is that on the historic registry?
No, it's not.
It's not,
but
okay.
They started to put it on, but they didn't complete it. So
I just,
then
'cause
during COVID, everything,
Yep.
applications got changed.
Yep,
So we're in the process of redoing all of that.
cause that may actually, well, no, cause they were gonna make us,
It would still.
they
it
were,
would
yeah,
stop
they
the
were gonna
rate,
make
just like
us
the
adjust
historic
the regum if we redid that, even though it's on the historical registry. Yep, okay.
But there may be some caveats there that we would
Yeah,
fall under. I just don't
Okay.
know enough.
yeah, I agree. That would be my first
Mm.
suggestion would read
And
that
your
stuff.
insurance is through Vermont League of Cities.
Yeah, so that's the same question. Just ask them.
Okay.
They should be able to answer your
And
insurance
it-
question.
It comes under the town's umbrella, so.
It should, yes.
Yes.
So the other thing we need to ask is, would the town be able to truck us 3 yards of the fine crushed stone from Swanton to the cemetery backside of the circle? We've got the Vermont Old Cemetery Association folks coming in. We've got volunteers coming June 14th to do repairs. We've got a lot of stones that are down, broken stones, and they will be able to come in and help us.
It's just 3 yards.
Yeah, 2 or 3 trees on my side.
Speak to leeches, they might even donate it.
Hmm?
But
Speak
it'd
to
have to be
leeches.
it'd have to be the white crush from SLC.
Well, they said it could be sure pack either. Sure pack or,
Check with leeches, I bet they'd be willing to donate that.
okay,
And Mac, if she gets in touch with them and then she gets in touch with you, could we send, 3 yards, you could even take the baby dump for that, no? Oh. Oh, okay, I was like, wait a minute, it's gotta be more than 3
By the time it
yards.
gets you, you're saying there'd only be a yard?
be spread.
Yeah, okay,
Figure the process.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you get a hold of, or whoever you end up getting it through,
Okay.
and then just let Mac know. Obviously for you and for us, the sooner the better, that way. He can get there and get it back in time for your people to come and work, so.
Okay. We've got a lot of volunteers. Any of you interested in volunteering that day?
What day of the week is it?
Hands-on.
Is it a weekend?
It's the Saturday, June 14th.
I'll make a note, see what I have on my calendar.
Yep,
On
Tammy,
the-
can we
on the Facebook.
yeah, Tammy, can we get that on the,
June 14th,
June 14th.
volunteers needed for the cemetery.
Volunteers meeting. Can you send me something?
I can.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
perfect,
Okay. That's all I've got.
perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night. I've already answered mine.
Get a tour of the first house. You don't need rent.
I'm
Painted.
actually interested in it myself.
So I painted that back in
I'm gonna see the tools.
99, I believe it
They used
was.
to test it for lead paint back then.
That the
No.
I don't know if we did or not. I'll be honest with you, it was
Oh, the tools.
Chad.
yeah, they have
Stone.
Yeah.
His brother,
Here's
myself,
Karen.
Chad
lives
Cosgrove,
here at his
and
Shelburne.
maybe
Museum.
1 or 2 others. And that's how we got community service for high school graduation. We painted it. We didn't test the paint for lead.
Guaranteed.
These tools. So I'm like, I want to make one.
So you covered that.
Oh, I was gonna say, we might have covered, but
It's-
yeah,
It is.
who
gone
knows what we breathed in and ate, but I'm still here. Obviously didn't affect me much through whatever it
Yeah.
was. Yeah. Maybe I'm a little heavier than I'm supposed to be from LA.
Pretty much, yeah.
Lead belly.
That's a hereditary problem.
It could be, might come from both sides of the family, so,
Sorry about that.
yeah.
Ah. Excellent. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Planning Commission appointment to the board.
Yes, the planning commission is asking for.
Oh, you're on the wrong side of
I'm
the,
on-
you're on the wrong side of the table to make questions. Don't forget to switch your hat. Yep.
Nicola Cribb, Planning Commission hat. We have a vacancy on the Planning Commission at the moment, and we have a volunteer who we would like you to nominate, and that is Gary Foote. The commission agreed on last Monday. And so
And
we're
is-
asking you today to make that.
Is this like a 2 of a 3-year
It's-
term or a
It's actually a 3 of a 3. It's an open.
3 of a 3? Okay, we just
Yes, they'll
Yeah.
have to run
Yeah.
next year, but it's a 3-year.
1 of 3. Okay,
I make a motion that we accept the appointment of Gary Foote to the Planning Commission.
I'll second that.
motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Lance.
There's only 3 of us up here at that time. Oh,
We can skip grants.
roads? Are they getting muddy? No, I haven't been on the dirt roads. I mean, I've been on Enosburg's, but no.
Get 'em up.
No, you don't follow up the planning. I'm not sitting here for that.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, it isn't.
He's not on our list.
Increased clarification is done.
I turned the mic off.
I turned that.
Our mud holes,
Outside of Waterville?
water bill's bad.
Well, it has been.
Has been.
We put that 20 loads of stone
Hmm.
from our pit,
Yep, brown stuff.
stop trucks.
Yep. But
Other than that,
I mean,
they're
you-
drying up good.
yeah, you guys are kind of tackling that pretty good though, cause I mean, 3 years ago, if we were sitting in the same spot
Right.
and I asked you what roads, you'd say all of them are
Yeah.
shit, but. So I
Just
feel
that.
like you guys are definitely,
It's just that one.
yep.
Has the question, has having two graders helped?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We had them both going today.
I'm just making the point that maybe it's a good thing we keep that one around.
York Rate can't keep up with them.
You having trouble shifting?
No,
Can't find a higher gear?
no, it's just, when you're doing two places and one's on that side of town, one's on this side of
Yep.
town.
Yep. Hey, okay, that's
And communication with the truck. Because of that.
The
radio of that
radios.
Truck. And I got a price for radios and our radio.
a radio.
Depends upon what you want to do. I was gonna ask Todd tonight about if the fire department has any spare handhelds.
Do they not make a repeater? For those systems?
It just seemed to be that one radio that,
Just that one radio that has the problem. Okay,
so I figured if we could take that one out and put it in the excavator, put the new one in his truck.
Okay.
As long as you don't have a problem with that.
But if he still doesn't listen,
It's a whole different.
It's hard when he's sitting behind you,
it
huh?
has nothing to do with the radio. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with that. Communication is key in any
Right.
workplace. So I mean, if you
Okay.
can't communicate, it's about,
Yeah, I'll hold off on the handheld till I talk to Todd and I'll try
Okay.
to talk to him.
Especially when you're in an area that cell phone service isn't
yeah,
available.
no cell phone service.
This town?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask this question and you can throw something at me if you want to, but have we been up Budville Hill?
No.
I was
Well,
gonna say,
mean,
I haven't been contacted. I haven't been questioned. I just know that last year at this time it was an issue.
I've been up on my pickup
Okay,
several times, and it's not,
it's not bad. Okay. Did we ever do the trench drain?
no,
No.
we never got that far because the excavator broke down before we got up there.
Okay. Is that road on the list?
Yep.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
Did you say the new excavator broke down?
Hmm.
No, I used the word new in front of the word excavator
Pigtail wire, all corroded up.
already?
Oh, yeah, they replaced the whole thing.
this was
Wow.
last year.
Yeah, wow, that's even newer. No, that's just,
This is last fall.
wow.
Was it under the def tank? That should lead through, that should lead through anything if there's a
That was
leak.
the back, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it's in the back.
Wait,
Oh, it's in the back, okay.
Hmm.
I mean, you've seen what def does that any steel.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it'll chew through a wire in a
Yep.
couple days. It's
Wow.
ridiculous how bad that stuff is. Any other things for the roads that we need to know? Yeah, better for the environment, absolutely.
Anything else, Brian?
The roads? No.
You're back. You're back rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Glad to have you back.
Rock breaking in.
I know these guys are.
Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome.
Excellent. I have
Yeah,
no other
nothing.
questions for the road guy.
Nope.
You got a question for you or a comment?
Oh, he's just looking at me kind of.
We having any beaver problems?
Oh, yeah, on Whitney Road. That's where the
Whitney?
excavator is now.
Okay,
That's why the Josh Jarvis move.
okay,
Yeah, on the bill.
yep. We were a while ago and you weren't making those meetings because you were out straight plowing. We were a while ago looking at trailers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we found a couple,
So I mean, I don't know if you're on Facebook or
the marketplace.
Marketplace. If you guys find something that you want to go and look at, or you think is, beneficial.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't see what he charged. I haven't looked at that yet, but I mean,
3.
Three's not bad. I mean, we can move a lot of times for $20,000 at $300 a whack, but
Yeah, but it's just convenient. I
yeah,
mean, we just
convenience to
happened to
build.
get a hold of him and he came right over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's slow right now for him because he's not hauling a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I think we found 2 or 3 possibilities
Yeah.
in Albans, I can't remember.
Georgia and I
Georgia,
think
yeah.
Westford.
And there were a few out there, so definitely, I know people will be upset you're sitting in the town garage, but definitely take a look on the marketplace, because there were a whole bunch up about a month ago.
Yeah,
month and a
no, it
half
was about,
ago.
yeah, it might have been 2 months ago. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys can find something and it's something you think's worth taking a drive to go look at, just kind of
Take the drive and let us know.
document it and let us know what you find, because
Yeah.
does anybody have an A right now? Do you have an A, Brian? No, and you don't. And, okay. So find that and then
Somebody's got to get it in.
somebody's gonna get an A.
I believe there will.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not. I don't blame you.
I'm not gonna be here.
Okay.
Naysayer, naysayer.
Yeah, and I can check with the school, the trucking school, because I think they were putting people through from, I think we had one from Milton and Fairfax last year, and they were only there like maybe a week or two. Because they'd roll in, because I think you're okay as long as the trailer's empty. Roll in with their truck and trailer, and they'd use the back and range and stuff like that, because you just have a restriction for, you know, a pintle hitch instead of a fifth wheel trailer. Which, I mean, if you want to go with the full fifth wheel trailer, I guess it's not that big of a difference, but that'll at least get you the A or a B with a combo. We can talk about this at a later date. It's not really that big of a deal right now.
You have anything for us? More? Good.
Perfect. That's boring.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's
Bye.
good.
I like boring roads. It's only 7:30. I might be out of here. Nope.
Yep.
We limited our visitors to 5 minutes each.
The new
That's fine.
Robert's rules. we're following
Police
Robert's.
contract, we haven't. I guess the pay increase clarification has been taken care of.
What
That can
that?
be removed.
Liquor license.
License application.
Look how thick that is. Holy
Yes, I would
turkey.
love some liquor. Is that not what that meant? Oh, okay. Town roads policy.
You guys need to sign that, because the other one is really old. That goes out with the excess weight limits, that way the current board has signed.
Is that a fat joke?
The other one had, Brendan here.
Sure, it'll be Thursday afternoon. Oops, sorry.
It's okay.
There's a nice thank you letter from Kathy Baker. Would like to read that. Application. Oh, that's right. We don't do it actually as a vote. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I know. I was trying to see. Okay, golf course. So where does it have their?
We don't sign it anymore.
No, I know. Right. Okay. Bakersfield Country Club.
We just approve it.
Yep.
This one gets me
That's
all the
awesome.
time. Okay, so
That's all.
this is a yay or nay. Approve the liquor license for the Bakersfield Country Club. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That was a yes.
Is that the only one?
Nope.
Oh.
Approve. All those in favor of approving the liquor license for Vermont Swiss and Bloom.
You want to tell me what Swiss and Bloom is?
Swiss and Bloom is a
Just before
catering
last
event.
week's.
It's the
Yep.
wedding barn on the right hand
Wedding
side,
barn.
as you head
Ah.
westings.
And they
Right.
use a local
Right, right.
for,
His license or whatever.
yes,
Yeah,
his
so-
catering license, so, but it's under there, so. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Our steward shop yet?
Yeah. just
Yeah, we
voted.
approved to move it.
Well, they're not, they're just, There's no motion. It's, do we approve the liquor license? Yes. For both of them.
Yeah, it's, we just tell Kathy that the liquor licenses have been approved by the board. Because she does it online.
Vermont tree warden appointment.
Are you looking at the mail?
Yes,
Can I do MERP update?
sure.
All right. So while you're digging through there, MERP update. So as I sent a quick blast out to everyone Friday, just so you knew what was happening, we're kind of in a little bit of a holding pattern with our MERP. There's been some bumps in the road. I had them come out today, met them here at 1. We went through both the town building and the library. Thanks for supplying the keys, Nikki. Some of the issues they bumped into, and I'll try to be quick, is primarily the application or the summary of what needed to be done by the assessor who was sent out here by the leagues or by the planning, the Northwest Planning. Yeah, that individual either confused our site with another site or something happened, but the information provided was not accurate. Specifically, the easiest one was, and probably the biggest one I'll hit on and leave the rest alone, was the propane that we use, $6,700 a year here in Town Hall. We don't even have propane heat, except for the one sitting right next to Brian. It hasn't been used in a couple decades. So, they came out today, they reviewed the site, they understand the issue. They understand the issues with, now that they've been here, with the heat pumps and how many we need. They understand the issues with the electrical service. They do not believe we were given enough money to do these projects. Even the library, even though it's a smaller building, they're not sure there's enough money to do the library project when they reviewed it, when they came out and looked themselves. They're taking it back to their two bosses or their other coworkers, Brian Sewell and Eric Pembroke, I think is his name. They're going to review it with them, what they found. They took pictures. Doug and his counterpart went through this building, all basement to the second floor. We went through the library, the basement and the first floor. I did forward you, Nikki, a email.
Didn't read it.
Okay, to summarize, there's a link in there. Click on, somebody in the library needs to fill that out. That library was built more than 50 years ago. And that's the historical registry type thing for the state. You have to fill out all the work that's going to be done, take pictures and send it in. Yeah, I've already done the town hall.
Okay.
They're mainly worried about ground disturbance, which I don't believe you're going to have any or minimal.
Yeah.
But you know, that front door may be a problem.
Changing it.
Yeah. So we're not saying you
Because
can't
it's the-
change it. You're going to need to find something that looks a heck of a lot like it. Right? I'm just telling you, that's what we found out. Yeah, well, it depends. The historical team that comes back will tell us once it's proposed and put in there. What needs to be done or what can be done. It's been a real rough road. This MERP thing is not as easy as we thought it was going to be. The other problem with the MERP is they have a list of what we do in what order, and the heaters are not even at the top. They're almost down at the bottom. So I've asked for them to consider either going full electric forced hot air conversion, or let us keep oil and just go with much more energy efficient oil burners, hot air. That'll help us not have to upgrade the electric service, which will save us money that we can put towards the heaters. And I also pushed hard for the third floor, the attic windows. That's the single, as far as I can tell, they're the only single pane windows in this building. I can't get up there and physically see them, but from the ground, they're single pane windows. It's a cold attic. Like, why are we going to go put double paint? Yeah, we're going to go replace those windows. It's going to be a problem with the registry, the historical group, because we're not going to be able to replace those with anything that looks like they are. So there's challenges. That's all I'm saying. So long and short, they've taken back all the information. They're going to review it with with the rest of their team. I don't know if it's who they report to or whoever, 2 more people. They're going to get back to me and let me know where we stand. But in the interim, the library does need to fill out that link, that paperwork. And it's easier if you just print it out. What am I signing here? Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
He's actually already signed it.
So he updated. That's it for MERP.
Okay, perfect. Continue going over the mail afterwards. Roads policy,
That's like what we just
what
signed,
we
wasn't
just signed. Personnel policy, is there an update on that?
I sent stuff to Todd. He's not here tonight. He was
Okay, so, yep, no. Lunar property, no update. Warrants and reports have been signed. Review the mail. All right.
Do Brigham first.
Okay, go ahead.
Just so you know, there is something to report this time. I'm going to be attending a meeting this Thursday. It's going to be presented by Kathy Lavoy. This Thursday, I will be presenting a Franklin Grand Isle County Housing Collaborative, which now comes under my purview. This is Kathy speaking. Brigham Academy has a promising property that needs some momentum, and I need both of you to help. We have some great minds around the table with some connections, FCIDC, Tim Smith, CHT, People's Trust, St. Albans City, United Way, NRPC, to name a few. Corey Parent, both the local small builder, remodeler, knows many other larger contractors and belongs to the Let's Build Homes initiative with Miro Weinberger. Will also be present to listen about Brigham and tell us the trials and successes around the building housing in Vermont. So that's where I'll be Thursday afternoon.
So Kathy, with the Franklin County something initiative?
Franklin Grand Isle County Housing Collaborative.
Perfect. All right, so. I have, at the last meeting, you're all aware that, Asa Curtis was here. And he was looking for a, permit to work within the town right of way above, on the top of, give me, Skinner Hill Road. I was like, it should be right here, so. He wants to upgrade the class 4 portion to his camp. And he's looking for a permit to work within the town right of way, which is
Correct.
what we told him to do when he was here. I now have the permit. He's correct. Yeah, because we threw up the class 4 into a trail. Yep. So I can change that here. Update the trail. So,
wasn't he saying he's taking it up to class 3?
no, he's just making it so it's passable.
Okay.
So it says here, update the class 4 road, which I selected out and put trail to the camp, repair the existing road bed so it's passable. And then again, fix the road bed so the road is passable to the camp. He is also adjusting where his entrance is
Mhm.
on his property, and that's change of existing access for a residential. So
Mac has reviewed it.
Mac, I would assume has, I didn't see his signature here, but he usually just throws them in with the mail. Do you know if he's seen this one?
Oh.
Yeah, I was
Know
gonna
if he
say, well,
approved it?
we told, he actually gave him the
Approved it?
permit.
I said he approved it.
He hasn't signed it, but he doesn't sign this one. He usually just brings them in after he's talked
Okay.
with the person. So it does have to meet his, he has to sign off on it before it's completed anyway,
Right.
but, so we just need to say, yes, do you want to see it?
No, I just don't remember the location again. I
So
lost-
Skinner
Basically,
Hill.
we're agreeing that he can start work.
Yeah, just trying to put a motion together here.
Oh, Skinner Hill Road.
I make a motion that we accept the application, the Skinner Hill Road application for the moving of the access and upgrade, working within the roadway.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You can make your own mind if you want, since you're not a man.
Me.
Select person. The next one is Vermont Tree Warden appointment. I believe this has been Larry Krieger in years past.
I
Anybody,
think that's true.
anybody verify? I'm pretty sure.
I know he has been. I don't know.
Vermont Tree Warden or Town Tree Warden,
Yes.
Larry Krieger. Is there anybody that would be willing to reach out to him and see if he is still interested in that position?
I heard Tammy's willing to do it.
Tammy, thank you. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a board member.
See how I gave it to you, Tammy? I'm such a nice guy. There you go, Josh. Thank you, Tammy.
And then the where you do it, where you.
Yes, it's in the. And I'm not gonna try and pronounce or to spell his last name. You should be able to. It doesn't say that. And if he accepts, we accept his
Willingness to do
exception.
it.
If he accepts, we accept his exception. I don't know,
Yes.
Larry Krieger. I thought so, and I feel like he has been for quite some time now, but. Is this new stuff, Tammy, or is it April 7th, 2025? Yes, okay. Permitting service. This is the. Todd submitted the highway. Right to work.
That
Todd,
is not me. That's Todd.
yeah. So this, can you email Todd and ask him to come in to review
When he
this
gets back.
when he comes
When he
back
gets back.
sooner than later?
You're wet right now.
Yeah.
Why? He's in Kentucky. Can you see
Yeah.
the floods down there?
Well, I mean, we'll be out of school before that gets approved, so as long as it's in the ground and operable by the end of August.
It's a mess down there.
Town forest census project. Researcher working with Vermont Town Forest Census Collaboration, UVM, Department of Parks, Recreation. All forest land 5 acres or greater. It looks as if they want. According to the 2015 town forest data, the town of Bakersfield has 0 town forests as shown below. Could you confirm that there are 0 town forests? And if there are, could you please fill the missing information in these forests below? It looks like it's a 5 acre minimum.
Can't see the forest or trees.
Guess it doesn't count. I was gonna say we got that property just past Gary Foots and the west
That's
of Gary Foot.
Correct, that's less than 5 acres.
Yeah.
What about the wooded area of the town gravel pit?
You-
No. Okay, I didn't think we did.
No.
Do we, what about
Did we
the wooded trail?
They're
over here.
advocating for public
less than 5
access.
acres?
Is it less than 5 acres?
Oh, okay, no.
So we don't want that.
Well, I mean, this is just a researcher looking for a census, so for right now, we'll file this under G and we'll adjust again in another 10 years.
You got people
Yeah. AED. This individual wants to know what kind of AEDs we're using here in the town.
I don't know, we haven't got.
We haven't received them yet.
We are working with, Robert has said that he has contact and grants, which could get us AEDs
For free.
for free.
Right.
I think Todd was talking with him about that, so we'll
It's another toddy.
file that under next time. Estimate for service on the cat.
Oh, yeah, you guys already verbally, that's the grade school generator. I said I got that down to somewhere around 3.
212.
Keep looking.
You got it lower? Oh bastard. Not 212. No, that was what they charged us?
The what?
The 1922.
So what happened was I was able to get stripped out a lot of the costs because they were charging us for travel when they were coming up for other things, and then a little bit of negotiation lowered it under 3,000. I think it was 27 or something.
2557.
Add the 2 in the front. I think the 2 is not included in there.
Oh, okay.
It was 27 and change, I thought.
Hmm.
No, where is that? Where are you, buddy?
Oh, okay. No. I think you need to call them back, John.
Why?
Well, they charged us $11 for a hose cleanse.
That's what happens.
They sold us 4 of them.
They made it good money.
Yeah.
There was two
Oh,
people
right,
holding
yeah,
it while they tightened
Dude,
up. He hasn't even
It's
been
a,
out
it's
here
a
yet.
$2 hose clamp and it's the $7 paint job.
He hasn't been out here yet.
4-inch.
He's doing on the
Going on.
Doesn't
21st.
say.
It's probably the cooling line because there was, they were,
Signature.
weren't they gonna replace those on the cooling system?
They were doing an absolute total cooling rip, tear down and rebuild.
Yeah, so that's the 4-inch stainless steel clamp.
There were some things we worked out.
Yeah, go to,
No,
go to Ace and buy
Maybe
one.
was email.
I,
So-
I do on a regular.
Well,
Sure.
long and short, we got it down
Yep.
several $100s. And that's just the quote from it. So you
Alright.
guys had an official,
Okay.
what I approved.
So it's doesn't require any action at this time.
No, it's just informational on it.
You could have saved us a lot of time there.
Well, you were so busy digging, I didn't want to, say.
All right, Champlain doors.
Past 8 o'clock.
That's right. We don't get paid if we don't hit 8 o'clock. We got an executive session.
Brian, this is a quote for overhead doors for the barn, town garage. Well, the town barn, that's what I call it. Yeah.
I tried to convince them to fund that, by the way, today. The MERP people, I kept trying to convince them to fund that. Like, you can do an addendum. Adjust it.
It's not an actual,
Is it a quote?
it's not an actual quote. I don't actually see a price here unless it's.
What is it? Repair the door, replace the door? What are we talking? And it's only 2,700?
No,
700 to put the same doors that we got in back.
Wow.
There's no sense putting the doors back in when you only got an inch to spare on each side of the truck. Right.
Yeah.
All it takes is a little snowstorm. Tip your truck a little bit and there goes your inch on that side,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah. So this doesn't actually have the quote. So you must have the quote. This is just the response overview and what he is quoting.
You were supposed to send.
Okay. Okay, that's just another non-action agreement or item.
2 doors. They can't
Okay.
do the one door because you don't have enough headroom to do the one door.
Okay.
Put the tracks in, yeah.
So we're gonna have to bulldoze the building in and build a new one. Okay, you all heard that.
The 2 doors just became very expensive.
Department of Children and Families, where a lot of individuals must meet specific eligibility requirement, minimum age. Yeah. Last one I have here is in regards to Waterville Mountain Road. This was sent in. Oh, okay, I thought that was just the printer date. March 31st. I don't know if I want to say names. You guys can read it after if you want to see the name. Live on Waterville Mountain Road. The road is awful in mud season. I've noticed the town tries to fix the road, especially by my driveway, and many recent tries haven't been effective. I've noticed almost every night around 7, there are multiple countless trucks, ATVs riding back and forth between my neighbors and ours, ripping up the road in front of the driveway, which the town has fixed now 2 times. It's still being used as a mud bog and I can barely make it out of my driveway. I read on the page that ATVs aren't allowed until May 1st. Clearly there isn't enough reinforcement of that rule. Yep. As for the trucks, I'm not sure what can be done. I just know not only is it making it hard to transport myself around, but also very loud and annoying to hear for hours. My dogs freak out and bark, thinking they're going to come in our home. They rev their engines, spin their tires. It's outrageous. And I'm even thinking of calling the authorities if this continues. If you are watching, please call the authorities.
Call it, that's it. That's our only option. Call the
Is the
authorities.
only option at this point.
There's nothing we can do.
Which is frustrating, but.
I read that online.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the same thing I was thinking when I read it. There's nothing we can do. They got to call the
Right.
police.
the name if you want to see it.
Yeah.
Make a complaint.
The only other thing I have requires executive session, so
Well, he's here for executive session
he-
too.
he's in that as all, so.
We're in a
well,
double
okay.
executive session.
So,
Is Heather?
Heather is not here.
Make a
Stop.
motion that we go into executive session to discuss
Zoning bylaw.
zoning bylaws and sensitive information.
I second that motion.
that was Lance and then John. Motion has been made and seconded.
I see that mouse.
We will request that the zoning administrator stay. And is there any others?
I
That-
think actually. And I'm some information just because you know what's. Thank you, Alderman, for minutes.
Okay, so
We'll
we
request.
will
Tammy.
ask that the zoning admin and Tammy stay. All those in favor of going into executive session signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
You got the
Okay.
time?
Time going into executive session is 8 p.m.
Make a motion that we come out of executive session at 8:30.
I second said motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Out of executive session at 8:30.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian, for your help. Brian,
FEMA thing, right here. Brian, this was in the roads, no, this was in, FEMA in the new mail. There was a meeting Tuesday, April 8th about. Yeah, exactly. But I wasn't sure if that was something you could look into. It's definitely more zoning than it is anything. It's about redoing the floodplain maps. Yeah, apparently there was a meeting that you could have gone and watched like a webinar. But I don't really know. I'd imagine you could probably get the same information on reading the one-page summary of what's gonna happen. Does go downhill, although there is a chunk of land for sale in Bakersfield that one survey had it marked as a floodplain and now it's not, so. Maybe water doesn't always go downhill. I don't know.
Parts of the Bakersfield that are in the floodplain that. If it floods, Enos curves, 40 feet.
Right. Yep,
thanks,
perfect.
Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
The floodplain on my land
Yeah,
is 350 yards behind my house.
come on up on the hill.
Goes past the top of that hill.
My house would be gone. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Who made a motion to adjourn?
we should. Somebody should.
I'm making
Somebody-
a motion.
Wait, John looks like he has another other.
Oh, no, I do.
Oh,
not.
okay,
I'm just
all right.
waiting to say I second.
To adjourn.
I second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Meeting's adjourned at what time?
8:32.